Howdy friends, 67 Mustang. Let me give you an update on the nearly now completed frame rails on this car. Let me just talk about it. This is more of a follow-up, and this will probably be the conclusive video for this project on this car relative to this task on the video I started about maybe 2 weeks ago when it was on the lift. So let me just show you what the deal is. Okay, well, let's just start with what other people do for their frame rail connectors, other businesses, other vendors. You could go on YouTube and you can see any kind of any type of frame rail connectors that other manufacturers make and try to sell you, but you will not see anything like this. I don't know why. Maybe it's just too invasive, too much of a difficult task, whereas most of the vendors out there try to make this job, they try to tailor this job to the hobbyist and the do-it-yourselfer laying on their back with their car on jack stands. As you can see here, this car is on a rotisserie. One of my rotisseries that I built, I put the car on this last week to facilitate all these tasks to be done quickly, easily, and very efficiently. So, what I have left to do is I have to make up some close-off plates to put up onto here, just like I did there on that side, and then weld it all up together. Everything is done on this car, respective of the task of putting in the new frame rails. There's some crap floating around in there. So everything is done on this car relative to the task at hand, and I just want to now show you up inside everything welded up. This has to be ground down quite a bit, but I'll wait for Steve to get back to do that. Actually, there's one more task I have to do right there in the center mass of the screen. I have to put on the other dual exhaust floor reinforcement plate, just like I put on there. I have to put it on right here. But everything is pretty much done on this car, respective of the task Steve wanted me to do. So you can see that these frame rails encroach through the floor. I guess it's called channeling. So the frame rails come into the floor, and then it's all welded up. So the person, whomever sits in the back seat, will have to deal with a foot separator, but that's not my concern. My concern was to have the side of the car look normal, not have things hanging down 2 inches below like the aftermarket frame connectors do. This one does not. This is, I think, the third set that I've built for a Mustang, and I did another set for my Plymouth Satellite, but I just want to share and to show you a standard that I believe anybody out there that sets upon themselves or hires somebody to do this should be the standard. Okay, I just feel that professionally this should be the way to go, because you don't have any, as I said earlier, frame rails sticking out, the connectors sticking down, making it too low, making it just not appear right. And then the bolt-on mechanism, the bolt-on frame connectors come back into here, and they bolt in there, and they come way up here, and they bolt on here and here. I just don't think that's a good or as good a proposition doing it that way like it is doing it this way. So going to make up these close-off plates, put them in there, and this car is pretty much going to be, I think, done metalworking. I think it's going to be pretty much done metalworking from my lane. So we'll just have to see how it goes, see what else we have to do, what else Steve might want me to do. Some of the problems that I've encountered from the previous workman who was working on this car prior to me was they, and I think I made a video about this, I talked about it briefly, they would leave these turd welds on the firewall, so there was a large gap between the floor and the firewall with their large turd welds. So that's really inferior, that's really bad quality, because you want to have these panels sandwiched together as tight as you can. Use multiple plug welds, not too many, but not not too lean. You want to have just an adequate amount. So a lot of this I had to actually cut out, remove some of those really bad welds, and it just resulted in some some of the metal getting chewed up. There was another large piece I tossed away that just was really bad. You can't even really do anything with it. So a lot of the time in this job has been to fix the previously bad, crappy welds. I still have to fix this one. I fixed that side a little bit, but there's still really bad quality here. Not enough holes. You can see he tried to weld here, but he left the hole vacant. Not a full good weld, and very cold welds. Just, they just don't know what they're doing. Lack of experience, lack of good tools, and probably he didn't have a lift or didn't have a rotisserie, nor the experience to do this. So those are all factors you have to consider, folks, when you're hiring somebody to do this. It's not cheap, it takes a lot of time. It's probably about 40 hours of work to make this, just like this, and fixing up all the other flaws. Probably would be a lot less if I didn't have to fix up any flaws, but that's the truth of doing frame connectors on a Ford Mustang. Steve, he wanted them in. I really don't think it needs it, because I think there has to be some engineered flex in a chassis, but he wanted it in, so hey, we'll put it in for him. So anyways, it's very hot, so I'm going to get going and wrap this up for the day. Have a good day, folks. Be good. Be happy. Be happy. If you have business dealings with idiots, you don't have to deal with them. You don't. You can just walk away and wish them Godspeed. Wish them good luck. Because you know what? Karma is real. And if you treat somebody badly, guess what? It's going to come back to you. So you should always try to be fair with everybody in everything you do on a daily basis. Be fair. Fairness doesn't mean that both people have to like it. There's a lot of things I don't like that cost a lot of money, but I want to have good stuff. So I'll pay the money to have good stuff so I can, so my tools don't wear out very fast. Buy good quality stuff. Hire good quality workmen and you'll get a good job. And, I'm just not going to cut any corners for any shyster businesses that have hired me in the past to do intake manifolds. I'm just not going to do it. So it is what it is. So I'm still in business doing intake manifolds, but somebody else is not. So choose. Bye-bye.